Come on in, you guys. It's day number 38 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. As always, we're about to get into a big tub full of ice. This is the Morozco Forge. And we're going to get in there for 5 minutes. Currently, it's very warm today in the Morozco Forge. 33.6 degrees Fahrenheit today. I do believe that's the warmest it's been since I started this challenge. But if you're brand new, I have been getting into this ice bath every single day since the beginning of the year. So starting January 1st, I decided I was going to get into this ice bath every day for the whole year. And it's a challenge that I committed to do every single day in 2022. So I'm real excited, you guys, to show you these videos. If you've been following along, you know I've done all kinds of teaching about ice baths. If you missed it a little bit earlier today, I actually talked to the inventor of the Morozco Forge. His name, Jason Schaefer, or Stauffer. I forget his last name. Jason is his name from Morozco Forge. And he is the one that came up with this concept. So it's a pretty cool little story. Go check it out on Instagram before I pull it down. It'll air on my podcast in a couple weeks, but I wanted you guys to be able to see that today. But today, what I want to teach you about is how do you mentally prepare yourself to get into ice? Because, look at that. You might look at that and you might be intimidated. How do you purposely put your body into a whole bathtub trough full of ice? It's an interesting experiment between what your mind is telling you that you can't do and then what you actually can do. So we will talk about that once I'm in there. I will talk about some of the things that you can do to kind of overcome some of that mental obstacle. But let's set this down. Let's get inside the cold water. Yesterday I went 7.5 minutes. I'm going to go back today, you guys, to doing the 5 minutes. We pushed it 7.5 yesterday just to see how long I could go. That says 5 minutes. So we're going to set the 5 minutes and we're going to set the timer and go. All right, so we're getting in. Okay, you guys, I had to go a little bit longer of relaxing today. When it's cold outside, and it's like low 40s today. Some reason that psychologically messes with me getting in here. So the topic I want to talk about is about how you convince yourself to get in. Because that's the hardest part. And I will tell you, it's not physical. And when I was talking earlier today to Jason from the Morosco Forge Company, he said all these people that get in their own head about what they think will happen in the ice bath, it's all imagined. It's all just what their brain is telling them is going to happen if they get into an ice bath. And so it's not an actuality. It's just what their brain is conjuring up and telling them is going to happen. So my best advice is go into getting into an ice bath without any expectations of what it's going to be like. I encourage you to just experience it. Get yourself to go in, and then once you're in, you can feel all the sensations and make your judgment call from there. But if you prejudge it, then you're already putting worry in your mind that probably isn't even true. So the best advice I can give you about getting in and having that gumption to get in, the mental obstacle of what it's going to take to get into a big vat of ice like this, is to just not have any expectations of it. Don't psych yourself out about it. And then just when you get in, breathe. You saw how long I took to breathe. Breathe your way through it. And then enjoy the process. Like, it's not all enjoyable. It's not all pleasurable. There's things that are a little bit funky about it. But in the end, you do it because you know the benefits that it's going to give to you. All right, that's 5 minutes, you guys. Woo! Woo! Booyah! This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I love the ice bath. Can you tell? I know I make that look so easy, and I'm sorry for those of you that are horrified by the mere mention of ice baths, but Jimmy's kind of addicted. Jimmy likes them a lot. Once you get in there, and then you get in there and you come out and you get to experience the aftermath of warming back up again, and then getting all the benefits that come from being in an ice bath, you can't help but want to get in. And yes, my hands are completely frozen. But I will tell you, from day one, when I first started doing this, day one I got in, my hands were not just frozen, they were prickly. It felt like thousands of needles were going into my hands when I first started getting in. The needle sensation is gone now, 38 days into this. But my hands are frozen. They will unfreeze pretty quick, usually within 5 minutes, and I can already feel them warm. You can feel them getting warm. My toes are also numb. I can feel a little bit of coldness in my legs, but the acclimation to the cold has definitely happened over this first just a little over a month. So, yeah, convincing yourself to get in, that's the hardest part. I can tell you, when I first got the Morosco Forge, before I started my challenge, I got it in like early December, I believe is when I first got it. And so it came in and it was set up, and I would look at it and I would go, no, I'm not getting in. It was just too much to think about. And you don't want to get in. That's just your brain. That's just the mind games playing tricks with you. And I know it's hard. And this is why I wanted to do a daily challenge in 2022, is if I challenged myself that I had to go in every single day, then I would have to come up with whatever gumption up here in my mind to make it happen. And I can tell you, when I first started doing these on camera with you guys, there were some days I didn't want to do it early on. But I was like, crap, I have to go on camera and talk to these guys. And so I made myself do it. And now I actually look forward to it. Now I have it in anticipation every single day of going on camera at 5 o'clock and getting into that thing. And it's been great. All right, let's scroll back to the top. See who all's here today. Go Jimmy says Bulletproof Coconut. Thanks for being here. Linda says we'll watch that after this. Yes, if you missed it earlier today on Instagram Live, I interviewed Jason from the Morozco Forge Company. So he's the guy that created that exact tank that I'm in that makes its own ice. He tells the story about why he created the Morozco Forge and how he came up with the concept of it making its own ice and the filtration system and all the things. So go watch that. It's only up for 24 hours. So those of you that watch this on the replay on YouTube, hop over to my Instagram page at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN, and you can watch that until about 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So if you miss it, it will air on my podcast very soon. But go check it out if you want to learn more about the Morozco Forge. Ruth says, I'm totally intimidated. Look, that's very natural. When you look at an ice bath that has all of that ice in it, it's so intimidating. Now, I will tell you, not everybody that has the Morozco Forge or other ice bath things, not everybody lets it get that much ice in it like Jimmy has. I like the psychologicalness of getting into literally a big tub full of ice. There's just something in my brain that turns on that says, yeah, I'm going to overcome the world. I could definitely crank up the temperature in the Morozco Forge about 3 degrees and all that ice would be gone. It would still be very cold, but it would just be water and it wouldn't be ice. But I like circumnavigating around that ice. There's just something psychological about it. And it's great. And I like it. So, Keetzo Carbzo says it's frozen, I think. Yes, it's quite frozen. Snacker Slacker says, just joined. Is he alive? Yes, I'm alive. I guess you saw me where I was breathing. So, yes, when I first get in, that's the thing that helps me, you guys. Talking about how you overcome that fear of getting in. When you get in, start breathing. And I know there's different schools of thought about how to breathe. There's the Wim Hof, that's the Wim Hof. I don't like Wim Hof for that purpose. It helps a lot of people. It makes me dizzy. So, not a fan of that. I am a fan of the slow, methodical. So really kind of fill up your nostrils full of air and then blow it out. And sometimes super slow. And that relaxes the tension in your body so that you can actually tolerate that cold. And I do. I tolerate the cold very well. Am I hearing a chicken, says Lou Jean. Yes, I have 11 backyard chickens. So yes, when I'm quiet, you will hear my chickens squawking. So yes, I'm okay, Keetso Carbzo. Sylvia likes it when I go, woo! That is my calling card at the end. If I was in a 5-minute, 32-degree ice bath, I think the least I deserve is a woo at the end. So you will always get that woo from me. That's my calling at the very end. I was going to say, it's not mating call. What's that? Like call, the warrior call. Woo! Sharon says, I'm late, but I'm here. You look great, hun. Thank you for that. I feel great. And I still feel great since I ended the fast on Saturday. And my sleep, you guys, I got to tell you, last night, my sleep was back to what it was before the fasting. So during the fast, you guys know I lost a little bit of sleep quality. I usually get about 4.5-ish hours of sleep, 4 to 4.5 hours of sleep, of deep sleep and REM sleep. That's the restorative. When I'm not fasting. Well, when I was fasting, I was getting about 3.5. So it wasn't quite as good as it normally was. Well, last night it went back to that really good. I had 2.5 hours of deep and an hour and a half of REM from that 7.5 minute ice bath that I did last night. So that was cool. Do you keep your house at a cold temperature, says Yellow-Eyed One. Thank you for that. Yes, I do. The only time I turn on the heat is when I wake up in the mornings and it's super cold outside and there's a chill in the air. I will sometimes turn on the heat just long enough to get the chill out of the air, and then I turn it back off again. But yeah, pretty much all day in my podcast recording studio, where you see my name and my URL behind me, that house stays at 65 degrees pretty much all the time during the winter, if not colder. Sometimes I'll turn it down even lower so the heat won't come on hardly at all. And that helps you a lot. Linda says, it wouldn't be the same without the ice, right, Jimmy? Exactly. I love the ice bath. There's just something about it, you guys. And if I do nothing else this year with all these ice baths that I do on camera every day, I at least show you that you will survive. That all the calamity that you think would happen, all the people say, I could never do that. All right, you're putting limitations on yourself. And I'm not about adding limitations. I'm about taking away self-limiting beliefs. And for the people who say, I could never, it's like you're already telling yourself you can't. And it's like, do you really want to go into something that you could do that would give you benefit with the mentality that you can't even do that thing that you don't even know you can do or not? See, I think you're psyching yourself out. And it's why I've been such a champion of these ice baths, is you don't know what you're capable of until you try it. And don't just try it one time. Oh, I turned on the cold water in my and I didn't like it. Okay, one time? Really? And one time is what you're going to base it. That's like those people who said, I went on a keto diet for one whole day and it was the worst day of my life. So those of you that are keto people and you've been keto long term, if somebody said they went on keto for one day, what would you say to them? You would say you need to go a little longer. You would say you need to try it a little more. You would say that you need to get acclimated to it, right? Because if you go from a standard American diet to a keto diet, for example, you're going to have some of the pain of removing the carbs. So you wouldn't just be one time, one day and done, would you? No. Ice baths is the same thing. Look at it as something that you get used to. And you can get used to. I don't care how cold and tolerant you think you are. You can get used to it. Use your breath. Calm your mind. Because a lot of the pain that you think you're feeling is just your mind. It's not physical. There's no physicality there that's telling you that you're being harmed. And you're not being harmed. There is nothing about a cold shower that is going to harm your body. And yet people freak out in their head. And so then that freak out in the head manifests physically and you go off the rails. But so much of this, you guys, is just a mind game. Don't play. Sharon says, you are a warrior. Arr! I try to be. But yes, day number 38, you guys, of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. I am going all year long in an ice bath every single day. 32 degrees. Today it was a little warmer. I think it was 33.6 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes every single day. And what's the purpose of this? The purpose is, can I do it? I want to see if I can do that. Obviously, if I'm doing this much cold therapy, it's going to provide various benefits. I've already talked about the sleep. It's probably lowering inflammation. It's probably helping to improve some insulin sensitivity. All of those things should help to produce weight loss, fat loss. So that is a goal of mine. And doing the hard things. We don't do enough hard things. We go through our lives doing easy things. and seeking to take things off of our plate that are not hard. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be like the bison and kind of go at the storm. I want to go right at the things that they say I can't do. And then I want to do them. Do you know how empowering that is? Incredibly empowering. And it's one of the things that motivates me hard to do this. And so I am. Here we are. Here we are. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. Thank you so much for watching these ice bath challenges. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys. I know they're a quick in and out. You get to see me get into the ice bath, get out of the ice bath, and then share some information. But as always, go check me out over on Instagram. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube or elsewhere, you can watch these live 5 p.m. Eastern time every single day of 2022. I get into my ice bath. Go follow me on Instagram at Living Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And your job, guys, if you choose to accept it, is to try at least cold therapy in your shower. You don't need a fancy Morosco Forge tank to, at the end of your hot shower, after you bathe and everything, at the very end, just turn it down to as low as you want to go. You don't have to go all the way down the coldest. Turn it to warm and just get acclimated to the warm. And then slowly work your way down cooler. And watch how fast you acclimate. And watch how you feel. And those of you that deal with some anxiety and depression and other kind of mental health things, maybe you're overwhelmed on many days, maybe your mood's a little bit up and down, ice baths, cold therapy is amazing for that. And so I want you guys to be able to experience that. Give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? All right, guys, let me pop out of here for now, get out of these wet clothes so I can go dry off. And within a couple hours, I'll be snoozing in bed. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys again real soon. Bye, everyone.